Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss very important long answer question. Maybe it will come in the final examination as a long answer from programming in Java, subject to Mpcs 5th sem. The question is, what is a constructor? Explain different types of constructors in Java. Once again, repeating you, what is a constructor? Explain different types of constructors in Java. That's the question. So first we need to discuss what are the definition of a constructor, why we need using a constructors. Okay, what are the advantages of constructors and how to following the rules and regulations to initialize the constructor in a programming. First, to define a constructor. First, to define a constructor. Constructor is a special member function. Constructor is a special member function which is used to invoking a functions, automatically when an object is created. We need not calling a functions with the supporting of constructors. Constructors, it should be invoking automatically when an object is created. That's why comparing with the normal function, constructor is different. Comparing with the normal function, constructor is a different. Constructor is a special member function. Okay, comparing with the normal function, constructor is a special member function. What are the speciality? Is nothing but it is calling or invoking a functions automatically when it is possible to creating an object. Okay, when to creating an object automatically it should be calling a functions. Such mechanism is called as a constructors. Okay, so at the time of to returning a programming, okay, based on the developing an applications, so constructors should be following some rules are there. Okay, so first rule, what is the first rule of a constructor? What is the first rule of a constructor? Constructor name, constructor name, okay, must be same name as the class name. This is the rule. Okay, so actually constructor can be declared, okay, constructor can be declared same name as the class name. Otherwise automatically Java interpreter it will give an error. Okay, so it's not matching. The constructor cannot be initialization the special member function message that can be displayed as an error. Okay, right. So that is the first rule. What is that? So constructor can be declared same name as the class name. For example, you have taken the class name student. Okay, so constructor name is also must be to declare the student. Okay, so with the spelling. Okay, no need to create don't mistakes with the spellings also. Okay, constructor name same name as the class name we need to declare like that one. That is the first rule should be following. And the second, constructor can be is always initialization. Constructor can be initialization. Constructor is always can be initialization. Values that can be directly initialization into a constructors. Okay, that is the second rule. And constructor is overloaded. Constructor is overloaded. What is mean by overloading? Is nothing but creating a more functions or creating a more constructors with the same name, and in that passing arguments is different. Such mechanism is called as a constructor overloading. Okay, once again, what are the constructor overloading? To creating a more than one constructors with same name and to passing the arguments into the constructor is different. Such mechanism is called as a constructor overloading. So what is the constructor overriding? Constructor overriding means what? What is the differentiation? Overloading and overriding. The constructor overriding, to creating a more than one constructors. Okay, to creating a more than one constructors with the same name and to passing arguments also same. Such mechanism is called as a constructor overriding. Okay, that is the differentiation between constructor overloading and constructor overriding. But in the Java programming can be acceptable only constructor overloading. Constructor is always that can be overloaded. Okay, so these are the three important points regarding the constructor mechanism. Now, what are the classifications of a constructor? What are the classifications? Classifications. What are the classifications or types? Types of constructors. What are the classifications or types of constructors? So actually constructors that can be divided into three categories are there. Okay, divided into three categories, which is first one, that is a default constructor. Default constructor. Default constructor. The second one, parameterized constructor. Parameterized. Parameterized constructor. And the third one, copy constructor. Copy constructor. These are the three classifications of constructors. Okay, first need to discuss the first classification, default constructor. What are the default constructor? What are the default constructor? Simply a constructor, okay, a constructor cannot take any arguments. Okay, a constructor cannot take any arguments. Such type of constructor is called as a default constructor. Okay, what is the meaning of default constructor? So a constructor should not be take any arguments. Such constructor is called as a default constructor. The default constructor cannot take any arguments. Okay, so based on that, how can it will be implemented without passing any arguments into the constructor? How can it will be implementations through programmatically? Now we need to discuss one example program regarding the default constructor. Okay, each and every Java program starts with a packages. First we need to importing the package. Import java.io.star package. Next import java.util.scanner. So after that, we need to declare first minimum one class name. I'm taking here counter. Class name is always that is user defined. Okay, class name counter. The next one, I'm taking one data type, that is integer. That I am declaring on variable, that is count variable. The next one, I am declaring constructor. Already told you, constructor can be declared same name as the class name. Here counter is the class name. Okay, so same name with the declaration of a method, that is called as a constructor. But here observe an important point. In this constructor we should not pass any arguments. Okay, not passing any arguments. Such type of constructor is called as a, what is that, default constructor. Okay, fine. The next, after declaration of a constructor, open the brace. The next, whenever should be calling this constructor automatically, or it should be executed the down statement. What is that? For example, I want to print, a word, some word. What is that? Welcome. Welcome to Java. I want to print this word, welcome to Java word. Okay, right. The statement I want to print. The next, constructor is always can be initialization, already discussed just now. Okay, constructor can be initialization. I'm initialization value minimum with a 0. Okay, fine. After that, to closing match braces. The next one, we need to calling a constructor. So how can it will be calling? Each and every constructor should be calling from the main method. Okay, not only constructor, in any function in the Java programming should be calling from the main method. Right, I'm going to creating main class. This is a subclass declaration. Okay, this is subclass declaration. This is a main class declaration. class I'm taking class name test. Okay, the next declaration of main method public static void main. So passing argument string arguments. After that, I want to creating one object. Already told you. Okay, constructors that should be calling automatically when it is possible to creating an object. Okay, whenever should be creating an object automatically to calling the constructors. That's why I am creating a constructor object. Okay, so we need to following some rule. How to creating an object? Objects are created in the Java programming with the helping of a class name. Here, class name, what is that? Counter. Same with the helping of class name, I am creating object. What is that? That is a counter. Counter. I'm taking one object and also more than one object that can be possible to creating. Okay, two objects are created in this programming. Okay, so the next simply C1 is equal to C1 is equal to new counter. Simple, it should be calling. Okay, we need not calling, automatically it should be calling. So the normal function we need to using that with the helping of a membership operator, but here we cannot using membership operator, just you should creating an object only. So with the helping of reference object automatically that should be calling a constructor. Okay, so whenever it should be calling the constructor, here counter automatically with the helping of C1 reference object, it should be calling the constructor this counter function, counter special member function. Automatically it should be executed statement. Welcome to Java. This is an output statement will be executed. Other the next step, I want to creating one more. I want to create one more time. I want to calling the constructor. Same procedure should be following. Okay, new counter. But here reference object is different. Okay, but constructor is same. Once again, second time it should be calling the constructor once again. One more time it should be executed this statement. Welcome to Java. So overall, these are the program. It should be represented like this one. The output execution to present like this one. Output simply welcome to Java. One time and one more time. Welcome to Java. These are the simple execution of a default constructor. We cannot passing without any arguments. Okay, without any arguments, it should be calling a constructor. We need to execute it here. Okay, this is the basic programming of a default constructor. Thank you.